If I start off with only being able to do 5 push-ups or 3 push-ups, and how do I increase that incrementally to actually get to a point where at my age and my weight and everything else, I should be comfortable with what I'm doing?
You see, the point is that one of the most motivating things in, I guess, in anything you do, but more so in exercise, is results, right? So in order to see results, you have to tabulate, right? How will you know that you lost 20 pounds of fat if you didn't first establish that you had 50 pounds of, that you're carrying around 50 pounds of body fat? Because at the time when you entered the program, you did a body scan and you established the fact that you're carrying around 50 pounds of excess, right? For example. And then at an interval, here we are doing another body scan, and we find out that now you have 30 pounds of body fat, which means commonsensically you have lost 20 pounds of body. So most people, when they look at that and they get excited, they get motivated, yeah, and then they're ready to get back in, right?
So it's a mental boost that you're looking at.
Yeah, it's a motivation to keep in the program, to keep going, to not drop out. Because, you know, a lot of people drop out of exercise programs. They start very passionately and then they drop out, right? We see this every year, right? Every year when people set their New Year's resolutions, and by February they're off the wagon, right?
Now, we'll have to speed up a little bit because of time, no?
Sure.
But, so what's next after that?
Well, we want to talk about, you know, how to work out. I want to help generally the general public to understand. You know, there are lots of people that maybe they can't afford to go to a gym and they want to do something on their own. And some basic things about workout, right? I call it the anatomy of a workout. And it's a warm-up, stretch, the workout itself, and a cool down. It's really important to go through this process because then it prevents injury, and at the same time, you know, you get better results. But, you know, to demonstrate, a warm-up is usually cardio, right? The kind of exercise that makes you huff and puff. And for example, the guys are going to demonstrate a warm-up routine right now. So go ahead with easy run in place. Run in place.
So that's, anybody can do that?
Anybody can do that. It's simple. Now convert that into a jumping jack. There you go. Right? And then knee lifts.
And you can get ambitious and put your hands up in front and try and hit it with your knee.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, that's good. That's good. So by the time you're finished there, you know, you start to sweat a little and you'll start to...
How long would you recommend that you do those for? Maybe a minute of running, a minute of jumping jacks, a minute of knee lifts, and then you take a little break and then you go back. You do repetitions of those, or just run in place until you've had enough? Because I think the time, giving you a time limit also pushes you, and if you're going to do it in cycles, no?
Right. Normally, I would recommend warming up for about 20, 25 minutes before you...
That's a complete exercise for a lot of people.
True, but, you know, it gets you properly warmed up and ready. And then the next segment would be your stretches, right? It's really important to stretch muscles. Stretch muscles are better looking, they're healthy, you know, flexibility is part of being young, right? It's part of youthfulness. So the guys are going to demonstrate a quick little stretching routine. Beginning with, let's begin with the side stretch. Side stretch. Just stretch to the side, right? Next side. And then lower back stretch going forward. Right? Right? Now bring it back and stretch the abs. Take it all the way back. Arms at chest level. Then take your arms overhead. You feel that stretch in your abs. Okay, now bring it forward and let's stretch the hamstrings all the way to the ground, arms flat on the ground. This is the hamstring stretch. If you try this, you will feel behind your leg just pulling. And it's a big muscle there, and it's really important to stretch it. Now, another variation of that, grab your ankles and do the one-sided hamstring stretch. Now switch to the other side. All right, now let's demonstrate a hip flexor stretch on that same side. Okay, turn around. Palms on the ground, right? Both palms on the ground. There you go. Get the hips down low. That's right. Yep. Okay. Now, let's demonstrate the seated stretches.
And you would do it on the other side as well, right?
As well, right. Now, the seated stretches, right? Let's do the squat on the heels. Squat on the heel. Bring it back, right? Now, if you are not able to do like this, that's fine. You know, whatever you can do, you do the best you can, right? Bring it up. And then the hurdle stretch. Just bring one leg forward and reach, and there you go. Now, bring both legs.
And you hold that for counts of what?
For a count of about 10, you know,
okay.
10 or 20, it depends on, you know. And the more you do these exercises, these stretches, the more flexible you become. You'll just find yourself naturally, you know, in the beginning, you might feel way out here and very stiff, but as time goes by, you find yourself just becoming more flexible.
Right. And the funny thing about this, I used to be a dancer, so I know this is a typical warm-up for a dancer.
Absolutely.
And you strengthen and lengthen your muscles, as you rightly put it. But
Absolutely.
a lot of people don't put a lot of emphasis on stretching. They see it as a complete waste of time because it looks like there's no activity. But how important is the stretching? It's
really, I mean, stretch muscles. When you stretch a muscle, you squeeze the blood out of it, right? And it actually prevents excessive soreness, especially when you're beginning an exercise program. And even if you're a seasoned exercise enthusiast or a bodybuilder, it's important to turn around and stretch muscles that you have just worked out. Okay. It'll keep you in the game, first of all. It will prevent that real soreness that could actually take you out, right?
Now, after you've done the stretching, etc., some simple things, because obviously you're talking, someone can do this in their home,
right? Or,
you know, alone. What would you do after this in terms of simple things like push-ups? Because people don't see the value of a push-up or a pull-up or anything like that. Right. What's the proper way for something as simple as a push-up?
Well, the proper way to do a push-up is, you know, you want your body straight. You want to make your body like a pole, like a post, right? And basically, then you want to work your triceps, work your arms. So you lower your body, bring it back up, lower your body, bring it back up.
Builds your chest as well.
It builds your chest and triceps, right? So both muscles are working there, chest and triceps. And it is a simple exercise, you know, for people who are not able to move, to push their body up like that. There's another way of doing it, which we call
the female?
Women push-ups, right? You do it from your knees, right? So guys, demonstrate
the female push-up.
The female push-up, right? That's it. Level your body. That's it. That's it. So, you know, if you're not very strong in your triceps and chest, this is the way you would start. And as you get stronger, you can, you know, step up your game.
All right. Now, even though it's called a female push-up, if you're overweight, for example, that might be the way to start.
Absolutely. It's not, right? I mean, I guess it's a little bit prejudiced when we call it a female. But even males, you know, sometimes they are unable to do one push-up, regular push-up. So, and if you're unable to do one regular push-up, then this is the way to start, you know, in order to strengthen you know, exercise generally is all about a progressive strengthening of ligaments and tendons and muscles so that you can take on more load, so that you can, you know, take on more intensity, right?
No, I like that you're talking about the, you know, increasing over time, and that you're talking about just changing of a lifestyle. And what we're trying to do is just show simple things that anybody can do to start off.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that very often is very difficult to work out are your legs. And you have some basic squats that you can do, but of course, it's usually, that's one of the harder exercises because, I mean, I don't know why we all, if you go to a gym, I guarantee that 90% of the people hate working legs.
Yes, yes.
But a basic squat can help, and even for anybody out there to strengthen your legs.
Absolutely.
So how do you do a basic squat?
Let me just say this, right? The squatting is one of the exercises that's most prone to injury. So it's really important. I mean, your knees are very important. They support you and they carry you. It's really important, you know, if you develop bad habits, you can actually injure your knees or just basically weaken your knees. So it's really important to have proper form, right? Now, a basic body weight squat is executed, you know, kind of like, you know, you're sitting in a chair. You're sitting back in a chair.
How wide should your legs be? Like shoulder width?
A little bit wider than, just a little bit wider than shoulder width, right? And you want to sit back. Now, the important thing is when you look down, you should always be able to see your toes, right? If your knees is extending way beyond your toes, then you're putting an unnatural strain on that knee.
And
right?
posture also becomes important. So that means straightening your back and arching forward. And
Absolutely.
How important is that? Because you're right, a lot of people do the exercises, but may not sit back like in a chair or try and keep the back straight. And initially, you're not going to get it. Right. But it's important for you to work at that posture. And why is that important?
It's really important because, you know, proper technique keeps you in the game, number one, and also the kind of development you get, it's strikingly different. You know, I've watched many people that I've trained. Some people are really passionate about perfection, about perfecting technique, and some people just want to do it any old way, right? Well, there is always a distinct difference in the development of these two people, right? When you do proper technique, and exercise is about technique. Even weight training, it's about proper technique, right? And then that's when, you know, you can really sculpt your body as, you know, to the perfection of a Greek statue if you really focus on the technique, on the proper technique, right? And I mean, a simpler thing as a body weight squat, it's so basic, right? But
it's
so
hard too.
But 90% of the people out there do it wrong.
Now, the other thing that I know that you can do very easy, lunges.
Yes.
How do you do a proper lunge, and what do you suggest in terms of variety to make sure that you maximize the benefits from lunges?
Okay. Lunges are really, I'd say, the next best exercise for developing your legs. It works in coordination with the squat. It's really important to once again, to have proper technique.
Okay.
And, you know, you can do a step lunge, or you can do, it's best to practice lunging in place for a bit so you can develop the proper technique. We do a complete routine, just lunging. You can just bounce with it right there. Bounce with it. Go forward.
You can stay.
One, back up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, fine. And then there is the switch lunges, right? Where you're switching positions, right?
So
try
you hop.
Guys.
It's like you hop.
Yeah. Switch. Switch. There you
go.
Switch. Switch. Now that's a killer. Okay. That's a killer.
Wow.
But it's a very
Thank you, guys.
exercise.
I have more respect for you because I know those definitely, even where you hold on to a wall or something and you go down on one leg and try and extend, those, oh, next day you can't walk upstairs.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.